I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how are there so many idiots in the world who can't seem to see what is right in front of them? You're thinking, why do I seem to be blessed or cursed with the ability to see truth through a torrential downpour of bullshit? You're thinking, what can I do to make people understand? How can I make them see what I see? Every day, we make countless decisions, big and small. But how often do we stop to analyze how we make those decisions? Annie Duke, a former professional poker player, explores the science of decision-making in How to Decide and provides tools to make smarter choices. Let's break it down. Chapter 1. The Decision-Making Spectrum. Most people judge decisions by their outcomes, but that's a mistake. Duke introduces the decision spectrum, where every outcome is influenced by luck or skill. We often take credit for good outcomes and blame bad ones on bad luck. Instead, we must separate the quality of the decision from the result. Key takeaway: avoid resulting, the tendency to judge decisions only by their outcomes. Instead, focus on the decision-making process itself. Chapter 2. Information, Bias, and the Truth. Every decision relies on information. But are we assessing it correctly? Annie Duke explains that our brains naturally filter information based on what we want to believe. This creates confirmation bias. Practical tip: before making a decision, ask, what would convince me that I am wrong? Seek disconfirming evidence instead of reinforcing what you already think. Chapter 3. Thinking in Bets. Instead of seeking certainty, Duke suggests thinking in bets. Every decision is a bet on a future outcome. When you frame decisions as bets, you automatically consider probabilities, risks, and alternative outcomes. Practical tip: assign probabilities to possible outcomes. Ask, if I had to bet money on this decision, would I still make it? Chapter 4. The Power of Decision Trees. One of the most powerful tools in decision-making is a decision tree. It helps visualize choices, possible outcomes, and their probabilities. How to use a decision tree. 1. List all possible choices. Assign probabilities to each outcome. Weigh the potential benefits and drawbacks. Make a choice based on expected value, rather than emotions. Chapter 5. Outcome Tracking and Feedback Loops. Good decision-makers track their choices, analyze outcomes, and learn from mistakes. This process is called outcome tracking. Practical tip: keep a decision journal to track major choices and reflect on what influenced them. Identify patterns in your decision-making and improve over time. Becoming a better decision-maker. Annie Duke teaches us that good decision-making isn't about being right all the time. It's about making thoughtful choices with the best information available. If we focus on the process rather than the outcome, we will improve over time. So, next time you face a big decision, think in bets, use a decision tree, and track your outcomes. As Duke puts it, good decisions don't always lead to good outcomes. But good decision-making does lead to better results over time.